I never meant to hurt you. It was not my best moment, and I'm sorry you feel that way. Have you noticed, sisters, how unstable the world has become lately? And by the world, I mean not only the nutburgers on the nightly news, but your actual close personal friends and family. People you have known for years who have never been particularly unstable before. I was speaking with two separate counseling clients this morning briefly, and both of them said to me before hanging up, my friends and family are all acting crazy. And I've experienced a little bit of that too for myself recently. A long time and very close woman friend, a friend I've talked many times with about us living together later in life as elder women. Suddenly she just up and married a Frank Sinatra impersonator after knowing him only 6 weeks. And she called, I don't know, 3 or 4 days after their hurry up Las Vegas wedding to tell me. She had gone the entire 6 weeks, never mentioning a thing to me, although we had talked during that time. Given that we had made some plans together, not hard contracts, certainly, no, but several serious discussions about our possible future together, living together as elder women. I told her that I felt somewhat hurt that she did not include me in her life, that she did not treat me like a trusted friend and let me know what was going on with her, that she had cut me out of this very important life event of hers, a decision that changed the possible future together that we had often discussed. So not, of course, that she had to check with me on getting married. She's a free and sovereign woman, but as a very close friend, to deliberately choose to hide the fact that she was marrying a man she met a few weeks ago and didn't share that with me, well, it felt like an interesting decision. And I did feel hurt. When I expressed that to her, she said, I'm sorry you feel that way. A woman I have worked with for 10 years in guiding our temple community, someone I consider a sister priestess, someone I have long trusted and depended upon. A woman I just shared the leadership of Sunday services with a couple of days ago, sent me an email a day before yesterday, out of the blue, saying that she was quitting the circle. No information, no apology, no explanation, just quitting. And I was utterly shocked and mystified. When I asked her about it, she said, I never meant to hurt you, and it was not my best moment. Sisters, we are in a time of great instability, and people are more stressed than ever before. And this usually does cause people to act crazy because the ground that they've become used to, that they've become dependent upon, is being ripped from them. I blame patriarchy, but then I blame patriarchy for everything, including why a moment ago I could not get the cap off the crazy glue bottle the second time using it. I'm sure it's some kind of dominator model plot. The ground being ripped from us can cause people to treat the ones closest to them really, really badly. The trite phrase, you always hurt the ones you love. Yeah, because when you're coming unglued, you tend to flail about and hit whatever happens to be closest to you. So yeah, you always hurt the ones you love. They're the ones closest to you. They're in the way. They're in the line of fire. People under great stress can be so caught up in their own issues that they forget that they are in relationship with others, that others have legitimate feelings and expectations, that we actually do owe something to others with whom we are in relationship. A proper, thoughtful, conscious apology can go a long way to healing things when the trust has been broken. But the words, "I never meant to hurt you," "I'm sorry you feel that way," and "it was not my best moment," are not conscious apologies at all. And I believe that these words can do more damage than heal what got dented. Why is it so hard for so many to make just a simple, straightforward, and sincere apology? I think it's because our ego wants to try to defend and protect itself at all costs. But we should not let our ego be allowed to be more important than a close relationship with a dear woman friend or a family member. We have to do better when we've made a misstep, if we think we have, because that is the first thing. When a friend complains and indicates that she thinks you owe her an apology, maybe the first thing to do is check in with yourself, try to put your ego aside, and see if you actually agree. As a leader of a woman's circle for the last 18 years, I have had a lot of projections placed on me, mother projections about what I should and should not be doing for others. My view is I have a job I've chosen to do, and that job is not mothering everyone all the time. When a woman is placing such a projection on me and then complaining that I somehow did not meet her needs or expectations, when she's feeling injured and demanding that I apologize, if I do not agree that I was wrong, then I do not and will not apologize for expediency's sake, because that is agreeing with what I think her fantasy is. And I do not support fantasy because that is a form of gaslighting. So I talk with her, I do my best to understand where she's coming from, and I do my best to comfort her, but I do not specifically apologize for my behavior if I truly do not believe I acted badly. So the first thing is to check in and see if you agree that the other party was indeed wronged and did have legitimate expectations that you failed to meet for whatever reason. If you agree that you have acted thoughtlessly, acted badly, then I would urge all of us to learn how to apologize in a way that has a chance of rebuilding the broken trust. And saying, "I'm sorry you feel that way," can come across more like, your feelings are on you. You choose to feel that way. The way you feel is not my fault. This has nothing to do with me. I'm sorry you feel that way. It carries a subtle message of disavowal of any responsibility for your part in the interaction. I'm sorry you feel this way. And that often translates subliminally to, you are wrong to feel this way, or you're too thin-skinned, stop being a whiny wimp, get over it. It is slip sliding away from being accountable for your actions. It is implying that the other party has no right to feel the way they do. It was not my best moment. Well, yeah, but this too is a form of sliding away and equivocating. Saying it was not my best moment may very well be technically true, but these words are not at all the same thing as saying, I was wrong and I regret my behavior. This too is avoiding responsibility for what you did. It's kind of like, yeah, I stabbed you in the back and then I kicked you to the curb. Then I ran over you with my truck. It was not my best moment. I never meant to hurt you. Many people say this has been said to me many times, when they are attempting to assuage their own guilt. This lame excuse is also usually technically true. My woman friend hiding her wedding, of course, never meant to deliberately hurt me. My sister priestess quitting without explanation, of course, probably did not intend to hurt me. The words, I never meant to hurt you, it occurs to me that that is said often by some cheating husband to his wife after he's lied to her over and over again. I never meant to hurt you. How well does that work? Not well at all. These words, I never meant to hurt you, may be true, but they don't work as an apology, because what ends up coming across is something like, I cared so little about you that I did not give 5 seconds thought to how my behavior, my words, my actions would end up affecting you and your feelings. And that can make a woman feel unimportant, the way I felt unimportant when my friend got married without telling me. It's as though the other party hardly cares for you or thinks of you at all. When you love someone, they and their feelings are important to you. None of these phrases helps rebuild the broken trust. They are all phrases that a frightened ego uses to try to protect itself from being faced with being wrong. An ego confronted with being wrong is the same for that ego literally as death. It's when the ego is made wrong, it is invalidated, and invalidation literally translates to death for the ego. The healing way to apologize and rebuild takes several steps. Something's been damaged. It takes focused effort and consciousness to repair that damage, just the way you would carefully put together a broken pot and mend it, carefully fitting all the pieces back together. The first step is to acknowledge very clearly what you did. I quit a long-term relationship, a very important relationship, by iPhone text. I gave no explanation for my actions. The second thing is, after listening to the feelings of the other party, acknowledge clearly how they felt based on what they told you. Repeat back to them what they said in your own words, so that they are certain that you got how they felt. I think we used to call this active listening. I don't know if that term is used anymore. So something like, this must have been very hard on you, not having any idea why I was suddenly deciding to go away just out of the blue with no warning. I totally get how you must have felt hurt and confused and angry. The third step, if it applies, acknowledge how your action affected their life. I understand that having me leave with no notice presented a great challenge to you in continuing the work that we had built together. Step 4, explain, but do not excuse your behavior. Something like, in this example, I have been so caught up with this family disaster that I just lost my balance and I forgot how important you were to me. I forgot how to treat a sister. 5, finally, apologize. I am as sorry as I can be for my actions. And 6, rebuild the trust. I have grown from this experience, from you sharing your feelings about what I did. I see now how this happened, how and why I acted as I did in this unconscious manner. Because I have learned something here, I feel certain I am not likely to do anything like this again in the future. And then 7, ask the other party to go from here in a fresh way. Can you forgive me? Can we start again? If you were to have that exchange with a woman who had treated you badly, there might be a very good chance that you could move forward even stronger and even closer as friends. I do make a space in my heart for this to happen with my 2 women friends. I definitely get that it was not their best moment. And I do also definitely believe that neither meant to hurt me. There's an old Buddhist saying that goes something like, it is just as wrong or bad to take offense as it is to give offense. And I had to think about that for a while. After thinking about it, I do understand what the proverb means, and there is some degree of truth to it at a certain level. And another well-known quote from the father of Gestalt therapy, Fritz Perls, goes something like, I might not have this exactly right, I am not here to live up to your expectations, and you are not here to live up to mine. But I don't entirely agree with either. And it's worth noting that both people who came up with that were men. And it's pretty much a scientifically proved fact that men are not as good at relationship as women. So it's not surprising that men would say something like, I am not here to live up to your expectations, and you're not here to live up to mine. Neither of these phrases takes into account the fact that in deep relationship with one another, there are legitimate expectations to which people are entitled. We do owe each other good treatment. We do owe each other that moment before we take an action where we stop and we ask, how will this thing I'm about to do, I'm about to say, how will this affect my loved one? When we mess up, we do owe people we care about an apology, but a real apology, not these lame phrases. As our world gets more and more unstable, and it is, and it probably will get worse before it gets better, because that's how instability usually progresses metaphysically, energetically. As it progresses, our friends, our family, perhaps even ourselves may act crazy, may do unexpected things that indicate instability. So we're probably going to need to apologize a lot in the future. So let's understand what a true apology sounds like. Because to feel hurt and then to hear from the other party the words, it wasn't my best moment, or I never meant to hurt you, or the worst, in my opinion, I'm sorry you feel that way. These are not healing words, and they do not fix what has been broken. If you do not fix what has been broken, if you just let it all slide under the surface, then sure, your friendship may continue, but there will be residue. We know what residue is. A small amount of something. I did look this up, so I'd have it completely correct. A small amount of something that remains after the main part has gone or been taken or used. So have you ever had your carpet cleaned and it looked great as you paid the cleaner and he or she left, and then 2 days later you see that old stain in the corner again? What the hell? It wasn't there the day they finished cleaning. What happened? Well, you probably have heard this. It's called, in the carpet cleaning business, residue wicking. That means when there's a deep stain that goes all the way to the pad, you can clean the top layer and it'll look fine for a while, but then the moisture wicks up the stain through the carpet fibers to reappear on the surface once again. And I think this is exactly what happens in friendships when we don't truly apologize in a healing way. Everything looks fine, but then later on, an ugly old stain wicks up and suddenly you're having this ridiculously bad fight over something stupid and meaningless. Let's deep clean those carpets. Let's deep clean those friendships. Let's apologize well. We're probably going to need to. Blessed be.